Welcome inside of the Robert J. Collins Arena. Tim Catalfamo alongside Brian Goudsworth for another edition here of Brookdale basketball here on Brookdale Television. Today it is a single game matchup between the Brookdale women's team as they will be taking on SUNY Orange College. And Brian, this is a Division II school out of the Region 15 Conference, so it's an out-of-conference game for Brookdale, but this is definitely going to be a very tough opponent for the Brookdale women to face off this afternoon.
No question, and Brookdale has really been playing good basketball on a season-best six-game winning streak right now. They have the record up to 9-3 on the season, but as you mentioned, a big challenge here. They're taking a step up in class, facing a Division II team, and that is always a difficult challenge.
And one of the things that Brookdale will need is they will need their impact players to be on call, particularly Chakasha Andrews, number 3, who has come into this game having 23 points over the most recent win against Bergen a few days ago. She's a threat on the floor, definitely, for Brookdale, and they will need her this afternoon.
And Andrews has been the go-to scorer all season for Brookdale this season. You mentioned coming off the 23-point game her last time out, but so often she has been the player to lead the way in double figures in every game but one all season, several games over the 20-point mark this year. So she's been doing it all season, and as you said, likely the go-to scorer in today's game as well.
And then on the other side for SUNY, it's going to be really looking at Nyesha Harris, number 13. She averages just under 13 points a game, but she's a definite huge threat on the floor, someone that, along with the many other players who are averaging just under 13 points a game as well, SUNY is going to have on the floor if they want to take on Brookdale today.
Yeah, and they have 3 players, as you said, who do most of the scoring. It's a balanced attack for this team, but Nyesha Harris definitely the one Brookdale had to key in on defensively, averaging a shade under 13 points per game. They'll have to do a good job on her defensively as well as the other 2 players if they are to be successful today.
So it's going to be an interesting match at Division II school coming up against Division III. The Brookdale women taking on SUNY Orange College. We'll have play-by-play of that game coming up right after this break here on Brookdale Television.
I'm more than just a college student. I'm a marathon runner, a volunteer, and a philanthropist. I'm an employee. I'm a future master's degree holder. I believe the path to a better world is paved with a million small steps. Thanks to Brookdale, I'm already halfway there. My name is Killian Warman, and I came to Brookdale to explore my passions. I never imagined I'd have the flexibility to pursue them all.
I went to college right after high school, but it didn't work out. After a few years in the workforce and the birth of my son, I decided to give college another try. At Brookdale, something clicked. I met amazing professors and found a major I was passionate about. I made the dean's list, landed a great internship, and now I'm pursuing my bachelor's degree. Thanks to Brookdale, I have what it takes to see my dreams through. I'm Tara Boyce, and I came to Brookdale to give college another try. I never imagined I would find my passion.
Looking for quality higher education at an affordable price? You'll find it at Brookdale Community College. With locations in Lincroft, Freehold, Long Branch, Neptune, Hazlitt, and Wall, and online options that let you study anywhere. At Brookdale, you can train for a new career, earn a diploma, and transfer to a 4-year school hassle-free. Brookdale has small classes and approachable faculty, an honors program, academic support centers, a full student life experience, and nationally ranked sports teams.
Visit brookdalecc.edu and start your success story today.
Hi, I'm Dan Lees from the Speech Communication Department at Brookdale Community College. I welcome you to come and explore Brookdale and see all that we have to offer. In the Speech Communication Department, we teach courses in public speaking, interpersonal communication, and small group communication. For me, college was a life-changing experience. I never looked at the world the same way after my time in college. And I think Brookdale will offer you that same kind of life-changing experience. Not only will you enjoy yourself at Brookdale and have a good time, but you're going to learn a lot. And you're going to take those skills out into the world and apply them in your work field, whatever it may be. So join us at Brookdale. You might find it changes your life.
In just a few short months, tens of thousands of visitors will spend part of their summer along the sandy white beaches of Belmar. Besides catching some rays, many of them will also be catching some cool tunes Thursday nights, enjoying 90.5 The Nights Songwriters on the Beach concerts. This free concert series, located on the 5th Avenue Boardwalk along the panoramic Atlantic Ocean in Belmar, brings a beach full of music lovers throughout the summer. If you'd like to have your company's message in front of an audience that is well-educated, affluent, and community-minded, then now is the time to secure your involvement. Email Kristen at kflorio@wbjb.org for more information on this affordable sponsorship opportunity.
Planning a large-scale event or conference? Consider Brookdale Community College and its versatile Collins Arena. The Collins Arena is the premier venue for all kinds of corporate and community events, live concerts and celebrity happenings, trade shows and expositions, sporting events and tournaments. The Collins Arena has countless layout options to meet your needs. Bring your next event to life at the Collins Arena at Brookdale Community College. Go to brookdalecc.edu/events and start planning your next event now.
When I was divorced, I needed to rediscover who I was. I had no career or college degree. My divorce attorney was so supportive. Working with her helped me realize I have what it takes for a career in law. I joined the paralegal program at Brookdale, and I got a great base to build a career on. Now I'm working as a paralegal at Ansel, Grimm & Aaron, and I love it. I'm Michelle Mulcairn, and I went to Brookdale for a new start. I never imagined I would find my calling.
The meditation series will strengthen your spirit with peace and balance. Intro to Zen Meditation provides a foundation of the basic principles of Zen instruction, sitting, walking, and breathing techniques allowing one's mind to rest. Allowing peace within helps develop powerful ways to invoke inner harmony and radiate peace whenever you are in need, no matter where you are. Healing Energy Meditations provides tools to help gently calm the mind to find the quiet place within. Go to brookdalecc.edu and click on Continuing Education, then Lifelong Learning.
Hi, I'm Laura McCullough, and I'm an Associate Professor of English in the Humanities Institute here at Brookdale Community College. I'm also a writer, I'm a poet, and an editor. I have a number of books out, and I work my butt off writing and teaching. Some of the things that we teach in the creative writing program here are a mixed genre creative writing class. It's an introductory class. We teach poetry, fiction, creative nonfiction, and screenwriting. There are two reasons to take classes in creative writing here at Brookdale, and the first is easy. If you want to be a writer, we can help you figure out an educational and career path to do what you love and what you're talented at. But the other reason is because creative writing is about tapping into your imagination. It's about finding the creative person inside of yourself, and you don't have to be a writer to take creative writing. The number one attribute that businesses and organizations need and want today is thinking creatively, looking at a problem and not saying it's either this or that, but finding a third way. So creative writing classes will help you to think more creatively. It'll also help you to be more empathic, to understand yourself better, and to understand your place in a very changing, complex world. We love our creative writing students here. We work with them in class and out. And if you're at all interested in tapping into your creativity or finding out what kind of writer you are, come and take one of our classes or email one of us. The creative writing faculty here are all active writers, and we'd love to hear from you.
My name is Barbara Burke. I've been a full-time faculty member in the nursing department since 2001 and a nurse for many years before that. When I think about education, I think about opening doors for students. It certainly opened many doors for me. It opens doors to new experiences, meeting new people, having fresh perspectives on things, and having more career options. When I think about Brookdale, I think about an innovative learning environment. And no place is that more apparent than here in the Nursing Skills Lab. Here in the Skills Lab, we take care of patients. We have simulated experiences for our students that are very close to what they would experience in the hospital or other environments. They take care of patients, and they get to problem solve and think critically through situations and work together to take care of these patients. So if you come to Brookdale, I think you'll have a great education in an innovative environment that allows for you to be engaged in learning and to be able to be a nurse of the future, because you'll be able to critically think through many situations.
Hello, my name is Bonnie Ross, and I am a nursing faculty member and department chair at Brookdale Community College. I've been with the college since 2002. I started as a clinical adjunct, and then I became a full-time faculty member in 2008. We have a thriving nursing program. We have about over 450 students currently. We admit students twice a year in fall semester and spring semester. Our students graduate the program with an associate's in applied science and nursing, and they're eligible to take their RN boards when they graduate. Many of our students go on to four-year colleges. They easily transition. Most of the schools accept all nursing courses and required courses as well. What makes us special and what makes us stand out different from other schools, and why should you come here? Well, if you ask the students, they're going to tell you it's because we care. We have a very supportive and caring faculty. I'm very proud to say that we've been designated a Center of Excellence since 2009. Our faculty, most of us are certified nurse educators. They respect our students with their diverse needs and their diverse opinions. If you ask a student from the first day that they come into the program, they feel cared about and supported.
And we're back inside the Robert J. Collins Arena, getting ready to start things here between a single match this afternoon between the Brookdale Community College Jersey Blues women's team and the SUNY Orange Colts. Alongside with my broadcast partner, Brian Goudsworth, as we take a look at the SUNY Orange roster, as they're just about ready to get set to go onto the court. You see there the starting five: Sheila Burns, Naisha Harris, Kalia Kropp, Anne-Marie Chiapon, and Casey Waldron. On the other side for Brookdale, Jakasha Andrews, Hermione Bankel, Cheyenne Lyons, Colleen Brannigan, and Jackie Lingo will be the 10 players that will start out this afternoon. Brian, anything that you're feeling going into this game? It's going to be a tough matchup. As I said in the opening, SUNY comes in here a Division II school, Region 15, so this is an out-of-conference game, but with Brookdale only having 6 players on the roster, which we'll talk a little bit more about as the game goes on, this is going to be a tough match for them.
Yeah, but you know, this is a good time for a challenge, because you want the challenge when things are going well for your team. And right now, as we talked about with the Jersey Blues, they've won their last 6, and one of the more impressive things about the 6-game winning streak is 5 of those 6 games they've actually won on the road. And you know how difficult it is not only to win on the road, but win on the road in your conference. And the Jersey Blues were able to do that in the month of December into the new year now, trying to keep that momentum going against, as you said, a tough opponent, Division II, SUNY Orange.
Yeah, Brookdale has won 6 games coming into this, including most recently on the 10th of January when they knocked off Bergen Community College up at Bergen, winning 20 points, 70-50. Jakasha Andrews had 23 points in that game, and it was a routing performance, but Coach Brunson did tell us pre-game that this would be a great challenge for his team. Hermione Bankel will get the jump here at center court with Casey Waldron on the other side for SUNY, as Colleen Brannigan quickly puts 2 on the board for Brookdale. Now here comes SUNY the other way. Number 14, Kalia Kropp inside, and Hermione Bankel picks up the rebound. So very quickly, Brookdale has a 2-0 lead.
You said it was Brannigan, the beneficiary, right off the opening tip. And Brannigan, who comes off a good game in her own right, 17 points, gets the scoring started.
Bankel back out to Cheyenne Lyons, who swings it over to Jakasha Andrews. Shot clock is winding down the 5-4. Andrews in the paint, had it partially blocked, but she's fouled with 2 on the shot clock. And I think Jakasha Andrews now will go to the foul line. Again, Brookdale has a 2-0 lead. as Jakasha Andrews heads to the foul line. The 5'3" freshman from Long Branch, New Jersey, knocks down her first attempt.
And Andrews, of course, our player to watch for Brookdale in the Open, as you said, coming off the 23 points the last game and leading this team really all season long in scoring, averaging just under 19 a game.
Up the under end of the court, this is number 30 inside, Anne-Marie Chiapon, and Chiapon lays it in. Brookdale has a 4-2 lead. Our scoring graphic is messed up just slightly. Bankel on the baseline, kicks it out to Colleen Brannigan for a three. That's front rim, no good. And Cheyenne Lyons gives Brookdale a fresh 30. Andrews back up with a three where she's shooting nearly 50%, and she's not able to hit it. Rebound to Chiapon. And thrown away there for a second. That was Waldron. Picked up by Brookdale. Brannigan for a three, got it. Colleen Brannigan showing Brookdale off to a great start, 7-2 their lead. The other way, this is Chiapon inside to Naisha Harris, one of the impact players that we talked about at the beginning of the broadcast. Lays it in, Brookdale with a 7-4 lead.
And Harris has both of the field goals early on the SUNY Orange side. And interesting to see is they're going to get a palming call against Andrews. Brookdale turns it over. But Brannigan on that previous possession making the three. And what did Rich Brunson tell us? He said game plan early on, we want to shoot threes, see if we can get a lead and then go from there.
So after the turnover, the Colts have an opportunity, again down by 3. Kicking it out to Chiapon. She now drives inside with the left hand and lays it in. Orange Colts have now cut it to 1, the Brookdale lead, 7-6. Again, our scoring is a little bit behind. We'll fix that during the break. It is a 1-point lead for Brookdale as Jackie Lingo traveled right at the foul line and turns the ball over.
And the starting lineup for Brookdale a little bit different with only 6 available players. So we're seeing Lingo, we're seeing Cheyenne Lyons in the lineup for the first time starting-wise this year.
Yeah, Rachel Rouse, someone that we see, someone who comes off the bench this year, is nursing a concussion. She should be back in a few days. As you see Coach Brunson there on the sidelines. Again, first-year head coach. He's been an assistant men's basketball coach for several years. And in his first full-time season as a head coach here on the women's side. Lingo at the left elbow, kicks it out to Hermione Bankel, runs into a wall of defenders, and she traveled. It wouldn't have mattered anyway. Kalia Kropp got the ball, but it'll be officially charged a turnover for Bankel.
Yeah, as you said, it probably would have been a turnover either way, whether the ball was just stolen from her, but called on the travel.
Kalia Kropp hands off to Waldron. Now back inside to Waldron, and she traveled. A lot of turnovers so far in this first opening minutes, and Coach Brunson is going to take a timeout as he wants to talk things over. Let's take a look at this last traveling call on the floor. Waldron inside, shuffled her feet. Looks like she took 3 steps there in the paint. So we will take a commercial break. Brookdale with an early lead.
Need a place for your next conference, meeting, seminar, or social gathering? Choose the Warner Student Life Center located on the beautiful wooded 300-acre campus of Brookdale Community College in Monmouth County. You'll have access to 15,000 square feet of versatile event space, state-of-the-art conference facilities, a comfortable lounge, a scenic outdoor patio area, and an award-winning catering service. To learn more, visit brookdalecc.edu/events. That's brookdalecc.edu/events.
Back inside the Robert J. Collins Arena, Tim Catalfemo alongside Brian Goudsward. Brookdale has a 1-point lead, 7-6, over SUNY Orange College. And so far, despite it being a Division II school, Brookdale has been in control. Coming out of that timeout, Lingo inside has it taken away for a second. Lyons scoops it up. Shot clock did not reset. It's at 14. Lyons over to Bankel, right corner 3, got it. Hermione Bankel Gives Brookdale their largest lead now with 4. This is a long 2 there by Chiapon, rims out. And Coach Chizak was right on the sidelines, didn't even flinch. The ball went right past him. It'll remain here with SUNY. There he is, relaxing, along with one of his assistant coaches.
His team practicing before we got underway here this morning.
Waldron finds Harris inside, and she's fouled. So it'll send Naisha Harris to the foul line for the first time this afternoon. Foul is going to be charged on Colleen Brannigan. That's the first team foul on Brannigan. And the fourth team foul on Brookdale.
Harris, one of 3 players on this SUNY Orange team to play in all 15 games this season.
Harris brings SUNY to within 3 points, 10-7. There is Coach John Lauro for SUNY on the sidelines in the gray sweatshirt. Has a very large bench compared to Brookdale that only comes into this game with 6 players suited up, ready to go. Mentioned Rachel Rouse out with a concussion. Jackie Lingo filled in for her in the starting rotation. Gianna Errico and Ibrianna Moore, 2 who are out and will be back the next time Brookdale will take the floors will be on Thursdays. We have a foul at the other end. Waldron was fouled inside. And that'll be the second foul now on Colleen Brannigan and the second on Brookdale.
And Coach Brunson told us he thought the one player his team might have trouble with defensively is Waldron, the center here for the Orange Colts, and she's at the line right now.
So again, Waldron not able to hit the first attempt. Second one is on the way. High spiraling shot and rolls in. So we have our first substitution here as Colleen Brannigan will come out and Cheyenne Lyons will come in. Pretty lonely on the bench there, as not too many players awaiting her presence. Everyone else is on the floor. Lingo had it swatted away at the right elbow. Now the other way, here comes Sheila Burns, and Sheila's not able to lay that one in. Waldron back to Harris, and she finds the back door and lays it in.
Yeah, really nice pass in the paint that time from Waldron, finding a cutting Harris who gets the easy layup.
SUNY in a man-to-man defense. Lyons back over to Andrews. Now Hermione Bankel, a long 3, very high shot. And Lyons with the weak side able to give Brookdale another possession here. Andrews now going to take it herself. Kick out Bankel. It's a 2 if it goes. Way off the mark. It's an air ball. And the rebound pulled down by Harris.
Bankel has not been hesitant about taking those outside jumpers. Got one to fall early on. Last 2 have been off.
Yeah, Bankel has not been historically someone that you talk about shooting the ball from behind the 3-point line.
But as you said, she has that high arcing delivery.
SUNY has their first lead at that basket at the other end, 12-10. Lingo off the glass and in. Nice find from Hermione Bankel to get it to Jackie Lingo, and we're tied up at 12. Now this is Chiapon. Threw it away, but scooped up by Burns. Shot clock to 20. Inside Waldron, lost it, scooped up by Lyons. So far, SUNY not playing like a Division team school so far this afternoon.
And that time it was Andrews, the aggressive hands defensively to force the turnover.
Monty Fenice has her layup roll out. Lingo is there with the rebound, puts it back up, no good, but she's fouled.
And a nice job on the offensive glass. Previously got the shot in the paint to go. That time gives Brookdale a second chance, and now a chance at the free throw line.
So it'll send Jackie Lingo to the foul line. Sheila Burns is charged with the foul. That's the first foul on Burns and the second on the Colts. Again, John Lauro there on the sidelines, head coach for SUNY Orange. Very experienced. He is a member of the Colts Athletic Hall of Fame, so definitely has seen his fair share of basketball games. Lingo rims out in the second attempt, came away empty that time from the line. And now SUNY has an opportunity to go back up top. This is number 14, Kalia Kropp, who lays in at the other end.
And early on, we've seen both Harris and Kropp. Harris, who was our player to watch, both of them came in averaging right around the same mark as far as points per game, and they've done most of the scoring for the Colts early on.
Bankel, straight on three. It's a long one, way too strong. Tipped out of bounds, saved by Montefinis. And the effort is in vain. It'll go back to SUNY.
Andrews, there really is no limit to how far she can shoot the ball. I mean, she can get it 3 feet clear of the arc and still put it up, and most of the time make a good percentage of those. That went off the mark, though.
Yeah, Chakasha Andrews comes into this game shooting 48% from behind the three-point line. That's almost unheard of. And Brookdale as a team shooting 45% compared to SUNY. It's only shooting 18% from behind the line. Harris inside, no good. Waldron, the rebound, puts it up and in.
Yeah, this is a SUNY team that you really want to defend the interior close to the basket because they almost never shoot the ball from three-point territory. So that has to be the emphasis on the defensive end for Brookdale.
I made a mistake. That last basket was actually by Sally Santiago, who is in the game for SUNY. They have a foul on the floor. They're going to charge it to Kalia Kropp. That's her first and the team's third.
I actually thought it was in the act of shooting for Andrews, but they call it before the shot.
Brookdale gets a fresh 30. Andrews, baseline double teamed. Montefinis stripped away, and now here comes the other way. Christiana Perez, and she's fouled by Brannigan at the other end. I think that's Brannigan's now third foul. Brookdale cannot run into any foul trouble with only 6 players suited up this afternoon.
And you're right, it is number 3, and I'm sure she's about to be replaced in the lineup here, although, as we said, there's not a lot of options coming off the bench today. Brannigan was able to get back in transition, get the blocked shot, but also commit the foul.
I don't know, it looked pretty clean. Looked like a clean block on that replay, but officials saw it differently. Again, at the line, Christiana Perez. And indeed, it is the third foul on Brannigan. Looks like Lingo will come in for her at the next buzzer, although she stays on the floor at this point. SUNY, though, with the offensive rebound. Chiapon dishes it off to Harris. Harris is fouled, count the basket, and one. And very quickly, SUNY has jumped out to a 7-point lead, 19-12.
It was a good setup that time from Chiapon for the and one opportunity now for Harris as you see Lingo come in, replacing Brannigan with those 3 personal fouls in the early going.
Andrews picked up that last foul. That was her first personal. And at the line now, Harris, no good on that attempt to try to complete the old-fashioned three-point play. It's a 7-point lead for SUNY. Lyons just barely gets it out to Andrews. Bankel, a long 2. It's an air ball. Lyons fighting for it underneath, got the rebound. Shot clock did not reset, it didn't hit the rim. Now the shot clock's down to 5. Lingo with 3. Bankel now a long 3. Off the front rim, no good. And a rebound tracked down by Kropp. Kropp with numbers the other way. Tried to feed it into her teammate Chiapon. Now this is Harris. And 3 seconds in the paint on the orange.
Yeah, it's called on Harris that time for the Colts, but on this Brookdale side, how many times have we seen Bankel taking the outside shots? And she made one early on. That clearly got her confidence up because she's been firing. Brookdale, though, in a bit of a rut on the offensive side right now, and now in a 7-point hole.
Montefinis. Lingo with the left hand, got it. Nice job by Jackie Lingo. She had a clean path to the hole, and Brookdale cuts the SUNY lead to 5. Brookdale remaining in this 2-3 zone. This is Santiago. Tries to go around Lingo, and I think Lingo picked up another foul.
Santiago got really good position against the defender Lingo that time. Isn't able to make the shot, but now at the line.
Take a look at this last foul. He had all types of contact there for Lingo. It's the first on her and the 5th on the team, which will send SUNY into the double bonus for the remainder of the first quarter. Number 44, Casey Waldron, is going to check in for number 13, Nyasia Harris, who goes to the bench. And number 40, Sally Santiago, knocks them both down from the foul line. It's a 7-point lead. And that's going to be a traveling call on Cheyenne Lyons as she shuffled her feet before she even put the ball down to take a dribble.
And that's the 3rd traveling call at least of this first quarter for Brookdale. SUNY's been called on a couple of them as well, but Jersey Blues have to do a better job taking care of the basketball when you're going against a tough opponent.
Waldron may have gotten away with a traveling call. Coach Brunson wanted one. Shot from the perimeter is no good. The shot clock resets now for SUNY. Kropp, a straight on 2. No good. Waldron is there with the putback, and she puts it in.
And Waldron just out-battling both Lingo and Andrews underneath the basket to get that offensive rebound, and then amongst both defenders gets the inside shot to go.
Andrews, a straight on 3, and it bounces off the rim and in for Andrews. That was a desperately needed basket. Now here comes SUNY. They can hold for the last shot here if they choose to. Inside, Kropp with the layup, rolls out. And Kropp was on the baseline, so it'll give the ball back to Brookdale with 3 seconds left here in the first quarter. Lingo in the Bankel. Bankel gonna have to hoist up a 3. No, she gives it off to Lyons. I guess I didn't realize it was only 3 seconds on the clock. And at the end of 10 minutes of play, first quarter, SUNY has a 6-point lead, 23-17, back to the Robert J. Collins Arena on the campus of Brookdale Community College after this.
Hi, I'm Laura McCullough, and I'm an associate professor of English in the Humanities Institute here at Brookdale Community College. I'm also a writer. I'm a poet and an editor. I have a number of books out, and I work my butt off writing and teaching. Some of the things that we teach in the creative writing program here are a mixed genre creative writing class. It's an introductory class. We teach poetry, fiction, creative nonfiction, and screenwriting. There are 2 reasons to take classes in creative writing here at Brookdale, and the first is easy. If you want to be a writer, we can help you figure out an educational and career path to do what you love and what you're talented at. But the other reason is because creative writing is about tapping into your imagination. It's about finding the creative person inside of yourself, and you don't have to be a writer to take creative writing. The #1 attribute that businesses and organizations need and want today is thinking creatively. Looking at a problem and not saying it's either this or that, but finding a third way. So creative writing classes will help you to think more creatively. It'll also help you to be more empathic, to understand yourself better, and to understand your place in a very changing, complex world. We love our creative writing students here. We work with them in class and out. And if you're at all interested in tapping into your creativity or finding out what kind of writer you are, come and take one of our classes or email one of us. The creative writing faculty here are all active writers, and we.
Getting ready to start the second quarter. SUNY with a 6-point lead over Brookdale, 23-17. Trying to get some points on the board are the Colts. Waldron, nice feed down low, almost lost it and throws it off of her teammate's leg out of bounds. So yet another turnover. SUNY has played well. They didn't start off the game all that well. Brookdale had a 7-2 lead at one point. But right now, Brookdale hanging around with a Division II school. It's a 2 if it goes for Bankel, too strong, and Lyons not even going to make an attempt for that as it was going out of bounds.
Yeah, I thought Lyons was going to make an attempt there to save the ball from going out of bounds, just couldn't get to it in time.
So this is Sheila Burns bringing up the ball. Naisha Harris lost it, and sloppy play as number 30, Anne Marie Chiapon, could not handle it. And another turnover for the Orange as they average just under 20 turnovers a game. So one of the areas that they have struggled with despite an 8-7 record this year. Chiapon will stay here as she was looking for Casey Waldron inside.
And you mentioned the turnover numbers for the Colts this season. This second quarter, they've come out and turned it over on their opening 2 possessions.
Chiapon to inbound. Harris, nice, off the glass. Nobody picked her up on the inbounds, and she's able to lay it in.
And Harris has been a matchup problem in this first half so far, just getting whatever she wants in the paint, and has at least, I would say, 8 to 10 points thus far.
Lions, a long 2. Looks like it was partially blocked. Brannigan had saved it from going out of bounds. It'll remain here with 13 on the shot clock for Brookdale. Monty Fenice, you see there, one of the smallest players on the floor at 5'1". And she's a player who plays both basketball and soccer for Brookdale here at home. That shot was partially blocked. Now will it stay here? That's what the one official is saying.
Yeah,
so remain here with Brookdale.
And Montefinice and Lyons both at 5'1" for the Jersey Blues, and both on the floor right now.
Our officials this afternoon, Taj Goodlow, Teresa Connor, and David Labrosi. Monty Fenice, back over to Lyons. Goes right around Harris. Lyons is fouled. Count the basket and the foul for Cheyenne Lyons.
That was a difficult shot on that drive to the basket. The scoop motion on that layup and gets it to go off the glass. Trying to cut into this deficit right now. It's at 6.
Foul will be on Naisha Harris. Let's take a look at this shot from Lyons, Brian. Watch this. Look at the effort there with the right. She didn't even use the left. She used the left side of the glass with the right hand. That's an incredibly difficult shot. Lions, however, cannot complete the 3-point play. It's a 6-point lead. Burns for a long 2, and she got it.
And we haven't really seen many perimeter shots. We mentioned that the Colts very rarely shoot 3s, but that time a long 2.
Andrews, long 3. Brannigan tried to put the tip in. Bankel now is fouled underneath. And will this be in the act of shooting or on the floor?
It's in the act.
And it will be in the act of shooting, as you said, Brian. It's going to be the 3rd foul on Harris. So now Naisha Harris, one of the impact players we were talking about, has got 3 fouls. And now at the line, Hermione Bankel. First one up and good.
And I think Harris is going to be forced to check out as she's heading for the bench right now, which is a break for Brookdale, because as we mentioned, the key player coming in and played very well so far today.
Yeah, Lingo comes in for Cheyenne Lyons. Kelsey Dollar and number 40, Sally Santiago, come in. It's a 6-point lead. Brookdale remaining in this 2-3 zone defense, which they have been in for the entire game thus far. Crop along 2, off the rim, no good. Bunch of bodies touching the ball on the floor, still loose, and Andrews comes up with it. That was Sally Santiago going down to the floor to grab that loose ball for SUNY. Nice no-look pass to Brannigan, open for a 3, and she hits it.
Really was a great decision by Bankel, who we've seen take that shot for most of the afternoon. That time, though, the great decision, no-look pass, and the wide-open 3 for Brannigan.
So this is Kelsey Doler again in the game for the first time. Sally Santiago, nice turnaround step-back shot is good. Under 7 minutes to play. SUNY up by 5. Andrews off the rim, no good. Lingo, all types of contact, and there's going to be a foul underneath.
I think Dollar forced the jump ball, and they actually called a foul against the Colts.
Number 20, Jackie Murphy, who also checked in at the last whistle as Santiago goes to the bench and Christiana Perez comes in. But as you said, Brian, I think SUNY was trying to get a jump ball. They did not. They got a foul instead charged to Murphy. That's her first. Brookdale comes away empty on that possession. Now here's Perez, a little out of control. Ball will stay here with SUNY with 23 on the shot clock. So SUNY will inbound right in front of Coach Brunson, literally, on the bench. It's Kalia Kropp. Looking for somebody, still looking, finds Perez. Now Kropp inside to Dollar, and there'll be a 3-second call in the paint. I think that was on Dollar, Brian.
They called the 3-second violation first from the bench. I heard whether it was a coach or a player, someone yell 3 seconds, and then the officials blow the whistle.
Probably Coach Brunson, let's put it that way. Andrews guarded very tightly by Perez. Goes around a screen. Monty Fenice, long 2. No good, and Perez scoops up the rebound over Hermione Bankel. Poked away there by Brannigan into the front row. It'll stay here with SUNY with 23 on the clock. Quick substitution here. Number 25, Kelsey Dollar's going to come out as number 30, Anne-Marie Chiapon comes back in. Again, Brookdale doing this game this afternoon with only 6 players. We've been talking about that as one of the storylines. Intercepted there after some contact inside by Chiapon and Lingo, which led to Andrews being able to intercept the ball. And now we have a foul in the forecourt. It'll be on Perez.
And that's the 4th team foul against the Colts in the second quarter. So one more before Brookdale is in the bonus. It's still a lot of time left before halftime.
Andrews back to Lingo. Lingo on the baseline finds Hermione Bankel. Another 3 for Bankel, way off. And the weak side rebound picked up by Kropp. Now here she comes, coast to coast, goes to the paint, and she draws the foul.
And Kropp taking it coast to coast that time, drawing the foul. We'll see who picked this one up. It was Montefinice.
Let's take a look at this foul here. Watch Kropp inside. And I think you're right, Brian. Montefinice bumped her right at the right elbow. So Kropp able to knock down the first one. For Montefinice, it's her first personal, the first team foul on Brookdale in the second quarter. Cheyenne Lyons will come in for Montefinice, who goes to the sidelines for a quick breather. And Kalia Kropp again. Second attempt on the way and is good. It's a 7-point lead for SUNY, which has been able to hold and maintain steady with that lead for the majority of the first quarter and now halfway through the second. Brannigan at the foul line, too strong. And the rebound pulled down by Murphy. Kropp along 2 at the foul line is no good. And Lyons there with the rebound. Brannigan along 2. Lingo, though, puts it back up and in.
Lingo's done a nice job in this first half, both on the glass, creating second chance opportunities, and she's chipped in on the offensive side on the score sheet as well. So good performance by Lingo so far.
So SUNY will take a quick timeout here with the lead of 5. We'll take it with them. Come back to the Collins Arena right after this.
Hi, I'm Sophia Perola, and welcome to Brookdale's Open House, where high school students, transfer students, families, and the entire Monmouth community can learn more about what Brookdale has to offer. Let's go check it out. Here at the Open House, students can tour the beautiful Lincroft campus, meet the faculty, and find out from over 50 of Brookdale's academic programs. Students can also leave here with tons of information, including how to apply to Brookdale, clubs and activities, financial aid opportunities, and job training for future career planning. In addition, students can also see how easy it is to transfer to a four-year college after Brookdale. To learn more about the open house or Brookdale Community College, log on to our website at brookdalecc.
Back here in the Collins Arena, Tim Catalfamo alongside Brian Goudsworth. Under 5 minutes to play here in the second quarter. SUNY Orange, a Division II school, has a 5-point lead over Brookdale. And that shot there by Casey Waldron, who checked in on the last timeout that SUNY took, knocks it down from the foul line. It's back up to a 7-point lead.
And we've seen Brookdale have trouble matching up with Casey Waldron, and it's exactly what Rich Brunson was a little leery of coming in.
Bunch of bodies going down the floor, lots of contact too, as Colleen Brannigan tried to set a screen. Waldron finds the ball inside, uncontested, and lays it in.
That was a tough shot. It kind of came out of her hands a little bit awkwardly, but nonetheless banks it in. Back-to-back field goals for her.
And now we have a blocking foul, called on the floor. It's going to be on Jackie Murphy, and she can't believe it. And I'm not quite sure if I agree with that call as well. This was a strange call for the officials. They're actually to say Hermione Bankel was in the act of shooting. Which,
well, it's bonus situation
Oh,
now.
okay, that's right. You're correct, Brian. Yep. 5 team fouls in the women's games here in Division III play and in Division II across all women's games. Automatically puts the other team in the double bonus for the remainder of the quarter. Sheila Burns will come out for SUNY. Bankel brings the lead down to 7. Crop had it literally ripped out of the hands by Bankel. And now here comes Brookdale up the floor. Bankel looking for an outlet, pulls up, is blocked away by Waldron. That was very early on in the shot clock, though, Brian. I'm not sure why Bankel decided to pull up there.
Yeah, I thought Bankel would try to take it directly to the rim, but settles for the outside jumper, and Waldron, getting back in transition, gets a piece of it.
So Andrews will inbound underneath her own basket with 24 on the shot clock. Lions, it's a 2 if it goes. And Waldron there again tracks down yet another rebound. And they throw it away there as nobody was home on the other end for SUNY. And one thing I think that has kept Brookdale in this game has been the turnovers for SUNY. They averaged nearly 20 coming in, and so far in this first half, they have had quite a few.
Yeah, it started early on in this game, and then coming out in the second quarter, they probably have around 5 in this period as well. So Brookdale's been able to hang in because their defense is getting them chances.
Shakasha Andrews knocks down a nice jumper from the perimeter. It's a 5-point advantage for SUNY. Another turnover there as Kropp was looking for her teammate Chiapon inside, and it rolls out of bounds.
Yeah, a little bit of a miscommunication that time as the shovel pass goes out of bounds, and Brookdale gets another turnover. Now it's about cashing in on the other end, trying to cut into this deficit.
See that last basket there by Andrews, cutting the lead to 5. Brannigan now, pump fakes, pulls up, long 2. It's an air ball. Lions blocked away underneath by Murphy. Shot clock does not reset though for Brookdale. Andrews, long 2. Whistle inside, and did Andrews get fouled by Murphy there, Brian?
I think they called the foul away from the ball, actually, trying to contest the rebound. And they got Jackie Murphy on the foul, her second, so Andrews is at the line.
So
I'm not so sure about that, because it
I
didn't
don't
look
know.
like the defender was in Andrews' way, but nonetheless, Brookdale will take it.
It was definitely a strange call. Again, Brookdale is in the double bonus, so any foul would automatically send him to the line. But the fact that Andrews was dribbling the ball when the foul occurred makes me think that maybe she was fouled. But either way, it's a 3-point advantage now as Andrews hits a couple of free throws. Waldron at the right elbow. Pulls up. Off the glass, no good, and Lingo is there underneath with the rebound. Ooh. Bankel may have gotten away with a palming call. Dishes it off to Lyons. Andrews for the tie. Too strong. And the shot clock resets. Brannigan now for the tie. No. And a rebound by Perez. And it's going to be a foul or a jump ball. No, they're going to call a foul instead on Jackie Lingo. And I'm not sure why Jackie Lingo decided to go for that.
Yeah, it's just a case of being over-aggressive, trying to force the jump ball, see if you can steal an extra possession from Brookdale, but clearly too much contact, and that situation, an easy call.
Lingo was trying to go for the tie-up because the possession arrow is in favor of Brookdale, but she gets charged with her second personal. Now here comes Brannigan. Dishes it off to Lyons, and she draws the contact yet again on Murphy. That's going to be another foul on Jackie Murphy.
So that's 2 Colts in this first half that have 3 personal fouls, of course, with Harris being the other one, and we haven't seen much of Harris in this second quarter after she kind of led the way early on.
It's the 3rd personal again on Murphy, along with Harris, as Brian mentioned, one of the impact players who we thought we would see quite a bit of, but because she's been in foul trouble, Coach Lauro has been forced to keep her on the bench. Lions trying to cut it to just a basket deficit, and she does. 35-33, under 2 minutes to play here in the second quarter. Perez picked up her dribble way behind the perimeter line. Long 3 there by Chiapon, and it's good.
They call it a 2. I think the foot was on the line.
Okay.
Brannigan a little bit late contesting that shot, and it goes from the outside.
90 seconds to play. Lions a 2. And a rebound, Waldron.
You know, credit Brookdale, though, for hanging in this game. At a couple different points, it looked like it was getting away from them. The deficit was nearing double figures. But you'd take this first half right now for the Jersey Blues.
Waldron lost it out of bounds after having it stripped away by Jackie Lingo. And with exactly 1 minute remaining, SUNY will have 12 seconds on their shot clock to try to do something with this possession. Again, SUNY is a Division II school. At a conference and at a division for Brookdale, and they're hanging around. Long shot there, though, by Kropp is nothing but net. And Lingo went over the baseline trying to inbound the ball, and that's an automatic turnover. Not what you want to do after a basket.
Well, that's one that I like to call an unforced error that time from Lingo. And now she heads for the bench.
So Lingo is out. Michelle Montefinis is back in for her. Waldron finds Chiapon, and Chiapon rolls off the rim, no good, but it will stay here with SUNY. Coach Brunson not happy with his team rebounding.
It's an area that they struggle mainly because they just don't have a lot of size on this team. You know, they typically go against teams that have 1, if not 2 players around the 6-foot mark. Brookdale just doesn't have that on their roster.
They'll stay here with Brookdale. And, you know, Brian, the fact that they're missing one of their major players down low in Gianna Errico is a huge loss for them. Now, Errico will be back in the next game along with Ibriana Moore. I mentioned at the top of the broadcast, Rachel Rounds is out with a concussion. She'll also be back on Thursday, which is the next time Brookdale plays. Brannigan's fouled inside. So the Jersey Blues are doing it today with only 6 players, which is one of the reasons why we were talking about they have to be careful to not foul, because with only 6 players, you could have the potential to have only 5 on the floor and no substitutes if you have one of your players foul out.
And only 2 team fouls in this second quarter, so they've done a good job limiting the foul trouble, while on the other side getting the Colts to rack up the fouls, as they have 5 and the Jersey Blues have been in the bonus.
So again, Brannigan at the free throw line. First shot up and good for Colleen. Had a personal best of 17 points and 6 rebounds in the last game against Bergen on the 10th, which they won by 20 points, 70-50. No good on the second attempt, 1 out of 2 from the line for Brannigan. SUNY can hold for the last shot if they choose to. It looks like they're going to push the pace. Waldron at the basket is no good, but it'll stay here with 12.7.
It didn't look like SUNY was very interested in holding for a final shot attempt of this first half, but they retain possession with 12.7 on the clock.
Perez back to Kropp. Now this is Chiapon, and another 3-second call. I think they got Santiago this time in the paint. And with 7.6, Brookdale now can hold for the final shot. Brannigan gets it up to Andrews. Andrews with 3. Finds Lyons. Bankel at the buzzer, not going to count. She didn't get off at time, and it's no good anyway. So at the end of 20 minutes of play, though, in the first half, SUNY holding a 5-point advantage over Brookdale, 39-34, which I'm very impressed by, Brian, because we mentioned this is a Division II school, very tough for Brookdale. And so far, Brookdale's hanging around pretty good.
Yeah, and what they've done is they've created turnovers, which we've talked about, and that's been the key. Said a couple different points. This game started to look like it was getting away, but then the defense would force some turnovers. Brookdale would cash it in on the other end. Need to do more of that coming out in the second half, see if they can keep this game close and see if they can steal a win against a tough opponent.
So we'll take a break for halftime and come back for the second half. You are watching Brookdale basketball on Brookdale TV.
With both my sons entering college, I knew financial aid was going to help. I never thought I would qualify, too. I enrolled in Brookdale's culinary program and discovered a world of talent I never knew I had. After graduation, I landed an externship with David Burke's Fromagerie, and they hired me a month later. My name is Debbie Doran, and I came to Brookdale to learn a new skill. I never imagined it would take me this far.
My daughter was born premature, and the hospital's respiratory therapist saved her life. When the economy crashed, we moved back to New Jersey for my husband's career, but nobody was hiring drama teachers. So I joined the respiratory therapy program at Brookdale. It's a great field with job security, and you can be there for people who really need you. My name is Joriel Miller, and I came to Brookdale to change my career. I never imagined I could help save a life.
I'm Dan Schroll, Professor of Graphic Design at Brookdale Community College. Graphic design, I use the example sometimes for students. So I may be sitting at a table and I'll pick up a small sugar packet and explain that a graphic designer does that. And from that small packet, anything up to a huge billboard. It's a visual communication tool. We're all involved in it. We all are guided by it. It's a huge field. There are many, many different options a student can have and go into and feed from as long as they start with the basic fundamentals of the graphic design profession, which we offer here at Brookdale Community College.
Hi, my name is Colin Caney, and I'm a graphic design student at Brookdale Community College. Everything that was available for us, the computers, the programs, everything were amazing. I mean, it made it so much easier because everything was just right there for us to use, and it made everything that we did a lot easier.
Hi, my name is Gabriela Sheps. I'm a current student at Brookdale. and I'm taking classes on the graphic design program. I have a background in graphic design back in South America. I was going to school and I was looking for, I guess, returning to school, and this was a convenient school for me, pretty close to my house, and they have a program that I can, I can do it.
We have two options in the graphic design program. We have an AAS degree, which leads to a terminal degree that puts the student right into the industry after graduating from Brookdale, which quite a number of students have done and have become extremely successful. We have the other option, the AA degree, which is a transfer degree, which I encourage students to participate in. It enables them to transfer to a four-year art school or college or university to further their studies in the more conceptual part of graphic design.
I got an internship through Dan Schroll, my professor. I got it at the end of this past semester, and it was redesigning the layout of the brochure for a group out of St. Barnabas Hospital called the Institute for Prevention. It's turning out to be amazing. I can't wait to see the finished printed product. So, on top of that, it's the first thing that I've done that'll be printed, that'll be distributed with my work on it, and I'm very excited because a lot of people, I don't know how many, but a lot of people will see that. So it'll be very exciting to know that my work is somewhere circulating around and everyone gets to see it.
It's an exciting program. The opportunities are tremendous. Now's the time to really look at a career in a field like this because of the vast potential that it offers. And not just graphic design, but peripheral subjects like illustration, typography, printing. There's many different aspects of the field that are outside of what's called graphic design, but is a very strong part of doing this as a career.
Hi, my name is Claudia Chera. I'm a graphic design student and photography major in Brookdale Community College. I have a lot of freelance work coming in because of my graphic design teacher. He was really great on always promoting me and giving me, people that I can call, and they gave me work. And for me, in a sense, it's great that I changed my whole career into the graphic design department, because if you really have a passion for it, you always have work. You always have work. There's a great program. Come and see it. You have to believe in your possibilities, and you will love it here. You will really like it here. So come on in.
Students make the program. The students really go far beyond the normal workload and contribute outside of class and really make the program what it is. A very strong program. I think we give a very, very strong fundamental background, kind of nuts and bolts foundation, and they do a really good job.
Hi, I'm Ed O'Neill. I'm head of the architecture program at Brookdale Community College. The architecture program at Brookdale Community College is a 2-year program, and what we do is prepare you for transfer to a 5-year program, which is at the baccalaureate level.
Hi, my name is Anthony Scalise, and I was an architecture student at Brookdale Community College.
My name is Pete Kozelski, and I was an architecture student at Brookdale Community College.
What was actually great about Brookdale for me is that I actually met my now business partner, Pete. We did meet at Brookdale. We were both students here. We developed a friendship, which was great. We kind of helped each other in school throughout. And who knew that, a few years later, we would be business partners and practicing the architecture that we were just learning. So yeah, for me, I think you look back and you really say, wow, that was something special.
The associate degree program at Brookdale is fairly unique. There are only one other program in the state of New Jersey like it. And our program really focuses on the first 2 years. So we mirror the first 2 years of a 5-year program's curriculum. I think our facilities, our attention to personal student needs far exceed what a university can do because we're smaller. We're more intimate. We have more one-on-one student interaction with faculty, learning assistants, and outside professionals.
My name is Nicole Boris, and I'm an architectural graduate from Brookdale Community College. The facilities were really great. We each got our own spot. We got our tables, the computers were great. We had a lot of printers. The teachers definitely introduced us to a lot of different technology aspects in terms of programs. So a lot of schools now are embracing the technology, and we got to learn different software such as Maya, Rhino, Grasshopper. We got to learn the process of 3D printing. So if you make a model on the computer, you can actually print it out on a machine. It's keeping us updated with what the rest of the schools are doing. So it definitely prepared us.
We start them out by doing drawings and building models, and sometimes those models become full scale. We do things with special projects, and we do things digitally so that in the computer you can walk into a virtual world and see what that's going to be like. And again, we take people out to projects all the time, explaining the process of concept through construction, and you can actually walk through and say, take you from the digital walkthrough to an actual walkthrough of the same building and see what the effects are.
Hi, my name is Matt Lita, and I am a graduate of the architecture program at Brookdale.
My name is Jason Joseph, and I'm a graduate at the Brookdale architectural program.
There's definitely a lot more freedom with everybody, including the professor, and that's what made it great, because we would create this family that would essentially go on trips. So they weren't necessarily class trips. It was kind of like a family trip. Like we would be going to New York just to go see any of the buildings. Yeah. We just went and we had a great time, but we were also able to experience the buildings, and that's what architecture is. You're experiencing the building, how the building affects you as a person on the human scale.
We have a great transfer record with a lot of different schools. Last year we had students accepted to, I think, 12 or 13 different colleges and universities throughout the country. We had students accepted to schools in California, in Florida, in the Midwest, in the Northeast, all over the country, and our students are sprinkled all over the place. And the great thing about it is they keep coming back and telling us about their experiences, which really helps us guide students as to where to transfer, what might be a better location for them, given their particular interests, desires, and talents.
My future plans after Brookdale are to transfer to a four-year school and get my degree. I would like to get my master's and see where it goes from there.
I actually had a great transfer process because I went right, we did 2 years at Brookdale. So we we had our first studio, first year of studios, we had our second years of studio. And for me, I was able to jump right into the third year of studio. And I remember when I brought my portfolio, which was the other thing that was great about Brookdale, and also just Ed, the professor, who helped us develop our portfolio and make it a strong portfolio. A professor at NJIT sat down with me and he was looking through the portfolio. He said to me, he goes, everything that I see in this portfolio is just as strong as any of the students that started at NJIT in the first and second year. So for me, that was great to hear that, everything that happened at Brookdale was a great foundation to, further your career.
We are currently going to Pratt in Brooklyn, both of us. We did just get accepted. The things that they do there are amazing. They output so many great things, but they're along the same lines of what comes out of Brookdale. We've worked on projects that, our final project was essentially a second, third year project at Pratt or any other school. We put the same amount of work into that as anyone else did in any other schools, and we're given the same tools to do this.
It's nice to come back to Brookdale to see how the program has continued to grow over the years. When we started out in the program, it was much smaller. It was actually part of the drafting program, and it evolved into really a fully accredited architecture program that has many more resources. There's many more opportunities for the students to learn and to really build a foundation for when they're going to transfer to a 5-year, 4-year architecture program to receive their Bachelor of Architecture.
When I started the program almost 20 years ago, that was the goal. The goal was to provide personal attention to individual needs, because we knew we would have a very diverse group of students coming in. We wanted to embrace that diversity, celebrate it, and then push people into areas where we thought that they could excel.
Back inside the Robert J. Collins Arena to start the second half of action here on Brookdale TV. Tim Catalfamo alongside Brian Gadsworth. The Brookdale women, the only matchup this afternoon, taking on SUNY Orange College. SUNY has a 5-point lead at halftime, 39-34. But for being a Division II school up against a Division III school, Brookdale has held out pretty good. And for the most part, with the exception of a couple of turnovers, they've been right with SUNY step for step.
Yeah, and got off to a pretty good start. Colleen Brannigan gave Brookdale a good spark offensively early on. Made a couple of jumpers early. Jersey Blues got off to feeling pretty good about themselves. The game was close. Then it sort of looked like SUNY was taking charge before Brookdale was able to keep it pretty close, and we have a close game here going into the second half.
SUNY comes in from Division 15, while Brookdale, of course, is in, Region 15, while Brookdale's, of course, in Region 19 play. So it's out of conference and out of division, but so far the Jersey Blues have held up fairly well. What does Brookdale, though, have to do in this second half? They are down by 5 heading into the second half of play.
I think continue to get turnovers. That's something that they did very well, getting themselves opportunities on the other end, maybe even in the fast break, knock down a few more threes. We heard Rich Brunson say wanted them to make some threes early on and then try to see if they could get some kind of cushion and then go for more twos late in the game. We'll see if that's the plan of attack, but Brookdale looking to extend the winning streak too to 7 in a row today.
SUNY has averaged about 20 turnovers a game, and so far this afternoon they have almost eclipsed that so far, so we'll have to see if that's the storyline in the second half. Let's now head down to the court to start the second half of action. So you see Brookdale getting ready to warm up here and trot out for the second half of play. Again, that's your first half score, 39-34. SUNY will start the second half with Anne-Marie Chiapon, Casey Waldron, Sheila Burns, number 23, Christiana Perez, and number 14, Sheila Kropp. Brannigan, Andrews, Cheyenne Lyons, Jackie Lingo, and Hermione Bankel on the floor for Brookdale. Excuse me, that's Chalia Kropp on the floor for SUNY. Brookdale not able to score on their opening possession here in the third quarter. And now here comes SUNY very quickly the other way. Brookdale remaining in that 2-3 zone that they stuck to for the majority of the first half. Long two there by Kropp. Or no, they're actually going to call it a 3. So now SUNY opens up the third quarter with a 3-pointer, and they go up now by 8. Brannigan finds Lingo inside, back out to Bankel. Brannigan now straight on 3, got it. Colleen Brannigan, one of the players that historically has been good from behind the 3-point line, cuts the lead down to 5 again.
And a nice design on that possession. Bankel made it happen with the drive to the rim, drew the defense's attention to her, and then found Brannigan for the open look.
Waldron tried to find Chiapon inside, and we have one official saying a foul, another official pointing up as if it's a jump ball. And they are going to reverse that call and call a foul on Jackie Lingo, which is going to be her third foul, and it's going to send Anne-Marie Chiapon to the foul line. Coach Brunson getting an explanation from the officials.
It's interesting, as you said, that one official signaled jump ball while the other said foul, and I wonder what the tiebreaker was to make the call a foul.
Yeah, something wasn't quite right there. Again, our officials this afternoon, Taj Goodlow, Teresa Connor, and David Labrosi. So SUNY back up by 6. This is Hermione Bankel now, back to Brannigan. Another 3 for Brannigan. This time is way off the mark. And now here comes Sheila Burns up the other side of the floor for the Orange. Long two there by Kropp. Got it.
And Kropp is a player you do not want to give a lot of space because she has shown a really nice ability to shoot the ball from the outside. We saw her make a three, that time just inside the arc, gets it to fall.
Brannigan floats it up there, too strong. Lingo puts it back up, no good. Ball still loose, fought for underneath. Brannigan and Waldron were fighting on the baseline. Now here come SUNY the other side of the floor, and Perez threw it away as she was intending the pass to be to Chiapon.
And Chiapon, if she would have been able to catch that ball cleanly, probably would have had a good chance to score on the inside, but I don't think she was expecting that pass to come in so hard from Perez, so Brookdale gets it back.
Brookdale still is trying to get over that 5 to 7 point hump that has remained the SUNY Colts lead. That three was in and out for Andrews. So the Orange Colts have been in control for the better part of this game. Brookdale opened up with a 7-2 lead, but then very quickly SUNY overtook them, and then, like I said a moment ago, has had a 5 to 7 point advantage for the majority of the game. Foul underneath there, as that was Chiapon who was going back up with the rebound. And it will send Anne-Marie to the foul line.
And I think they got Bankel on the personal foul. She has been able to stay out of foul trouble as she picks up just her first.
It's the second team foul on Brookdale here in this third quarter. Anne-Marie, the freshman forward, knocks down the second one from the line, 46-37. SUNY now approaching their largest lead, and now we have a push-off call on Chakasha Andrews as she pushed off on Perez. Wow.
I have to say, I don't know about that call. I mean, it didn't seem that there was an obvious extension of the arm that time.
Let's take a look at that in just a second if we can, as that's going to be the second foul on Andrews. Chiapon threw it away. Perez scoops it up, finds Waldron, and Waldron lays it in. Bankel, and that's Brannigan with the drive to the hole. Not able to convert. Perez left wide open for a three. And the weak side rebound to Brannigan. And now we have another foul here at midcourt, as they're going to get now Perez with a foul. Coach Lauro can't believe it.
I'll tell you, Andrews was wide open. Brookdale missed an opportunity there. If Brannigan would have seen Andrews ahead of the court, that would have been an easy fast break bucket. Instead, though, Brookdale will keep it after that last foul.
Coach Brunson will take a timeout. We'll be back to the Collins Arena after this.
Planning a large-scale event or conference? Consider Brookdale Community College and its versatile Collins Arena. The Collins Arena is the premier venue for all kinds of corporate and community events. Live concerts and celebrity happenings, trade shows and expositions, sporting events and tournaments. The Collins Arena has countless layout options to meet your needs. Bring your next event to life at the Collins Arena at Brookdale Community College. Go to brookdalecc.edu/events and start planning your next event now.
When I was divorced, I needed to rediscover who I was. I had no career or college degree. My divorce attorney was so supportive. Working with her helped me realize I have what it takes for a career in law. I joined the paralegal program at Brookdale, and I got a great base to build a career on. Now I'm working as a paralegal at Ansel, Grimm & Aaron, and I love it.
Last foul on the floor before we went to a commercial break was on Christiane Perez. That's her second foul. Coach Brunson decided to take a timeout, try to reset his team, currently down by 9. Lingo rejected by Waldron.
And not only does Waldron get the blocked shot, but able to save it from going out of bounds, giving her team possession.
Perez a little out of control, but was able to regain possession. Now the Orange trying to get a point on the board on this possession. Partially blocked away there. Now Perez with the ball with 8 on the shot clock, drives inside. And not able to convert on that attempt from underneath the basket. Andrews now a 3, got it. Shakasha Andrews has been looking for that 3 all afternoon long and finally is able to hit it.
She's had a made 3-pointer this season in every game but one. And I believe that may have been her first of this game, if not her second. Hasn't been one of her best shooting games.
Andrews and Perez had a horrible collision on the right side, with Andrews actually, Perez actually getting her hand tangled around Andrews' neck as they both went down to the floor hard.
It's good to see that both are getting up and don't appear injured, because as you said, that definitely looked nasty.
It's a 3rd foul on Perez. She stays on the floor, though. Montefinis trying to get over to Andrews. Andrews and Chiapon go down to the court. Brannigan, another 3, no good. There's been a lot of players on both sides trying to get those loose balls. So definitely the effort is there. Chiapon straight on 3, got it.
Well, we talked about early on that the Colts are not a team that shoots a lot of threes, but they look like a pretty good shooting team, especially if you're willing to give them wide open looks, and the attempts are starting to fall down.
Andrews hoists up a 3, and she answers right back.
And we know that is much more a part of Brookdale's game, is shooting the outside shots, and if they can get Andrews going, they can get back into this game.
Crop now a 3 of her own. These teams keep trading 3-pointers back and forth.
I think they called that one a 2, saying her foot was on the line.
Andrews, a short jumper. Now here comes Crop. Taking it coast to coast, gives off to Chiapon at the last second. Brannigan down to the floor. And a timeout called by Coach Lauro as he saw something he did not like. And it'll be a quick 30-second timeout. So let's take a look at this last 3, Brian, from Andrews. This is a couple of moments ago. Nice form and excellent play, as we will keep it here because it is only a 30-second timeout, as Coach Lauro will have his team with the ball with 20 seconds on the shot clock. But right now, Brian, starting to appear that the Colts are gradually starting to pull away, as Brookdale is just not being able to answer on the offensive end.
Yeah, and they're having trouble defending the jump shots from Orange on the other side. They can't keep allowing these open looks at the basket down by double-figure points.
Chiapon going to be fouled inside. It's going to be called on Colleen Brannigan. And we'll have to check on the number for Brannigan. I think that's her 4th foul. Yeah, wow. Jackie Lingo getting off her seat on the bench to get ready, I assume, to check in for Brannigan. I don't think Coach Brunson would leave a player like Brannigan on the floor too long. And he doesn't, as in comes Lingo. So Chiapon now at the foul line, no good in the second attempt. It's an 11-point lead for SUNY. Bankel now back in the game. Lingo, short jumper, no, and Perez, the weak side rebound. Chiapon drives from the perimeter inside, rattles out for her. And Andrews collects the board. Bankel finds Lyons. She's rejected away by Waldron. The height advantage there for Waldron is not even funny. It's just not sure why Lyons is the player underneath the basket there. That height advantage is just not lining up right.
It's just tough to match up against a player like Waldron. She's shown a good offensive game as well, but certainly had a presence on the defensive side with blocked shots.
Lyons is 5'1", while Waldron is over 6 foot. Lingo with the rebound. Montefinis, jumper, nice. Didn't even use the backboard on that one. And it's a 9-point advantage for SUNY. And Montefinis makes a nice play on the other end. Let's take a look at this last basket here from Montefinis real quickly. Watch this. No glass. Teardrop jumper. Crop from the right elbow. Back iron, no good. And speak of the devil, there's Lyons with the rebound. Bankel, excuse me, that's Andrews. I thought she may have gotten away with an extra step, but she's not able to convert on the layup. Now the other way, here comes SUNY. Lyons falls down to the floor, no call. Chiapon, the second effort is good.
Chiapon staying with the play, missed on the initial shot, gets her own rebound, puts it back up and in.
Andrews a long three, yes. Shakasha Andrews is the player that's really keeping Brookdale in this game right now. She has had 3 threes here in the second half alone.
After having a pretty quiet, all things considered, first half.
Crop just does not miss. She knocks down another jumper.
Speaking of players who've had a big second half here, Crop, mostly with the outside shot, has had good touch.
Andrews inside, runs right into Harris, but with the contact is able to get the basket to fall in. Another timeout this time for Coach Lauro, as this is going to be another 30-second timeout. Let's take a look at this last basket here from, I believe this is Andrews. Watch the contact as she runs right into Harris and is able to adjust in midair and get the basket to fall. So, Brian, this upcoming schedule for Brookdale, as we have a timeout on the floor, the women go on the road on Tuesday down, I should say, to Camden County College on the 17th. Then they come home for 3 straight home games. Thursday, January 19th against the Community College of Philadelphia, then on Saturday against Passaic, and then on Sunday against University of Connecticut at Avery Point. So a nice home stretch for this team, which has won 6 straight, as they continue to roll as we get towards the end of the season here. Again, all of those games, with the exception of the away game at Camden County College on Tuesday, will be broadcast live here on Brookdale Television. Coverage for the next broadcast at home on Thursday will be at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Yes, I was on camera for just a second. You didn't tell me, darn it. Just kidding. Burns with a jumper. It's no good. And Bankel tracks down the rebound. Andrews had it stripped away, and it's taken away by Crop. Montefinis now coming it the other way. Up to Lyons. Lingo with the shot. It rolls off the rim, no good. And now here comes SUNY the other way. Crop this time, it's too strong. Going to remain here with the Colts with 28 on the shot clock.
Now you see Nyesha Harris there, and she had such a big impact in the first quarter, but quickly got into foul trouble, had 3 personals, and we have not seen much of her, at least in the last 2 quarters.
And up and down there for Harris. We were just talking about her. She was one of the players that has had foul trouble, and we were mentioning her at the beginning of the show, saying that she could be a player that has had, that we were thinking would have an impact, but with the foul trouble that she's had, she has not had too much of a presence on the floor as now she comes back out again. So it's just not been a very good game for Harris. Bankel threw it away, trying to get it over to Andrews behind the three-point line. This is Burns, who lays it in with the right hand.
Perfect execution on that 2-on-2 break, but not a good job by Brookdale turning it over when they could have held for one.
Andrews way off the mark. Ahead of the field, nobody's going to contest Kropp here. She puts it up at the buzzer, and it's off the back rim, no good. So at the end of quarter number 3, SUNY has doubled the lead that they had at the end of halftime and leads 60-50. We will take a break and come back here to the Collins Arena for the final quarter right after this.
The meditation series will strengthen your spirit with peace and balance. Intro to Zen Meditation provides a foundation of the basic principles of Zen instruction, sitting, walking, and breathing techniques allowing one's mind to rest. Allowing peace within helps develop powerful ways to invoke inner harmony and radiate peace whenever you are in need, no matter where you are. Healing Energy Meditations provides tools to help gently calm the mind to find the quiet place within. Go to brookdalecc.edu and click on Continuing Education, then Lifelong Learning.
Hi, I'm Laura McCullough, and I'm an Associate Professor of English in the Humanities Institute here at Brookdale Community College. I'm also a writer, I'm a poet, and an editor. I have a number of books out, and I work my butt off writing and teaching. Some of the things that we teach in the creative writing program here are a mixed genre creative writing class. It's an introductory class. We teach poetry, fiction, creative non.
I hope so, at least. Back here to start the last quarter of play here. SUNY up by 10 after the inbound, and very quickly, within 8 seconds of starting the fourth quarter, SUNY turns it over after a traveling call is called on Casey Waldron.
And it kind of goes without saying here that Brookdale has to have a strong fourth quarter because they did not finish that third quarter strong at all. Wound up getting outscored, fought by 5.
Kropp is bumped, bringing up the ball by Michelle Montefinis. And for Michelle Montefinis, we'll see what number, as far as personal fouls is concerned, that's her second. And again, the fouls reset at the end of each quarter, so that's the first team foul on Brookdale. In the fourth, Chiapon's jumper is too short. Brookdale with numbers. Montefinis keeps it. Not able to get that layup to fall. Now she comes right back on defense up the floor as that was Waldron bringing up the ball. Kropp runs right over Brannigan, and that's going to be an offensive foul on Kropp.
Brannigan takes the hit that time, and Brookdale gets possession here down by 10.
Let's take a look at this last foul here. Watch this. It's already in play at that point, but Brannigan definitely was in position, and Kropp went over her. So that's the second foul on Kropp and the first team foul in the fourth quarter for SUNY. Brannigan now with 4 fouls over to Bankel in the corner. Bankel goes around the baseline, around the perimeter, Remain here with Brookdale. Let's take another look at this foul again on the other side of the floor when Kropp went over Bankel. Watch this. And
I think you could make the argument Brannigan was not set taking that hit, in which case it should have been a blocking foul.
Possibly. And for Brannigan, she was lucky because if I'm not mistaken, she's got 4 personal
You're
fouls.
Right. She would have fouled out.
Brannigan threw it at the feet of Andrews. Now Kropp and sorry, a lot going on there in the last couple seconds. I completely lost count what happened. The shot clock expired, and then there was a foul on the floor as both Kropp and Brannigan were going for the loose ball, and that's going to be the 5th foul on Brannigan, so now she is gone.
And is it just me?
Watch this, Brian. Oh, boy, I don't know about that. That looked almost like a foul on Kropp. Wow.
Is it just me, or did that buzzer sound very strange?
Yeah, that's why it threw me off. It sounded almost like like one of the batteries was running low. But either way, Brannigan fouls out, and now Coach Laro's going to quickly go to a timeout. But I'm confused as to how that's a foul on Brannigan, though, because I thought it was a shot clock expiration. All right, we'll take a commercial break and come back to the Collins Arena after this. Okay, we'll stay here. 8:41 remaining here in the 4th. The shot clock expired, so Brookdale was going to lose possession of the ball anyway because they were not able to get the shot off in time. It was Kropp and Brannigan fighting for the ball on the other end, and I'm not trying to be one-sided at all, but it did look like there was contact with Kropp getting into Brannigan as the two were going for the loose ball, but officials did have a different angle on the floor. Either way, Brannigan is fouled out, and now Brookdale can only play for the remainder of this game with 5 players. Montefinis fighting for the rebound underneath with Waldron, and it'll be a jump ball. Possession arrow will give the ball back to SUNY. Let's take a look at this last foul that I was just talking about with Brannigan. Watch this again, Brian. Watch Kropp here go for the ball. I don't know.
Yeah, they kind of both went for it.
That's
both
true.
sort of rolled over on it.
That is true.
Could have went either way.
And I thought the shot clock had expired before then, so it would have basically nullified any foul because the shot clock would have been a shot clock violation and play would have stopped. So either way, Brannigan is out of the game. Kropp will inbound, gets it to her teammate Burns. Now Kropp with another jumper, and she rattles it home. We were talking about earlier in the game that Harris could be an impact player. Kropp has definitely been the impact player for SUNY, particularly in this second half.
Yeah, and she's needed to step up with Harris being in foul trouble almost the entire game. And Kropp has had the touch from the outside, leading the way for the Colts today.
Andrews at the foul line, way off the mark, and a rebound to Nyasia Harris. Burns, a quick jumper. Rebound put back up by Waldron. Harris tries her hand. Third chance opportunity, and now we get a tie-up, and it will be remaining here with SUNY. Brookdale has had trouble grabbing some rebounds in this game as it's ripped out of the hands of Chiapon by Michelle Montefinis, who's now going to give it over to Cheyenne Lyons, who lays it in.
Nice pass that time from Montefinis. I thought she might take it to the rim, but hooks the pass inside. Lyons gets the finish.
Burns with a long 2. Waldron, though, back up and in. She has just been so tough downstairs to not only box out for rebounds, but she has such a presence that she's able just to put the ball back up and in with ease. And SUNY has needed her performance in this second half. Bankel with a floater inside. Saved out of bounds partially by Lingo, but it'll go to... No, it'll actually remain here with Brookdale.
I don't know about that call. It looks like Lingo knocked it out of bounds. Doesn't seem to be much of an argument.
Yeah, I thought Lingo clearly touched it last. Nobody else even went for the ball. Montefinis there with the runner, no, and Lingo lays it in.
That's really going to be the rest of the game about getting stops on this end, which has been a problem for Brookdale in the second half.
And they're starting to run out of time, Brookdale is, if they're going to make one last run at SUNY. 2-on-1 here. Andrews to Montefinis, blocked away by Chiapon. And now here comes SUNY. Harris going to keep it herself with the layup is good.
And there you see the size advantage proving dividends for the Orange Colts, and getting the blocked shot in transition on the one end when Brookdale had the numbers in their favor, 2-on-1, and then they get the fast break on the other end.
And Lingo is fouled. Count the basket, as that's going to be Nyasia Harris picking up the personal. That's the fourth foul on Nyasia Harris. Let's take a look at this last foul here. So it'll send Harris to the bench, where she has been for much of this game after picking up a lot of fouls early on. Lingo now will go to the foul line to try to complete the three-point play. And this is what Brookdale needs if they can try to get some points with the clock stopped. Perez over to Kropp with a long two. Santiago. Now Perez with a third chance opportunity, all types of contact, and there will be a foul on the Colts. Coach Lauro is very upset. It's going to be the first on Waldron. And I think it's more of just the fact that his team fouled there underneath the basket that Coach Lauro is upset about. Again, he is in the Colts Hall of Fame at SUNY Orange College. Coach Lauro is. And now we have a technical foul here on Coach Lauro. Is that correct? Wow. That is not what SUNY needs. I didn't hear or see anything. I saw Coach Lauro talking with, actually, I thought it was one of his players coming up the floor. And apparently he said something the officials did not like, and now he's teed up and has got one technical. And with 5:18 left in this game, Brian, this is not what SUNY wants to do, put Brookdale on the foul line with the clock stopped.
Yes, Andrews misses that second one, but, you know, Brookdale's been able to keep this game within striking distance, where if they could go on a run this final 5 minutes, they could get back into this game, tie, if not take the lead. There is still enough time for that to happen, and certainly getting free points at the free throw line will help their cause.
So after the technical and pair of free throws by Andrews, where she only made 1 out of 2, Brookdale has the ball. And now an offensive foul now called on Andrews as she pushed off a little bit on Perez.
And that's her third, and the second that has been of the offensive variety. And both, I think we questioned the last one, or I think they called a extension of the arm. Neither one of the offensive fouls that they've called has really looked all that blatant, but nonetheless, it comes at an inopportune time.
Burns at the foul line. Front rim, no good. Waldron with the rebound. Taken away there by Bankel. Now up to Andrews, one-on-one with Burns. Nice. It's a 7-point game under 5 minutes to play. Brookdale has not quite been able to get over that 7-point hump for the majority of this game. Kropp along 2. And saved out of bounds by Waldron, but she was on the baseline, so it'll go back to Brookdale with an opportunity now to try to cut into this SUNY lead.
You know, we haven't seen on either side, as I think they're going to get a foul in the backcourt, if not a timeout. Not a lot of full court press by either side, which is something that you can really take advantage of, get some opportunities on the fast break. Hasn't been a part of the game plan today.
4:24 remaining. Brookdale down by 7. Back here to finish it up from the Collins Arena on Brookdale Television.
Looking for quality higher education at an affordable price? You'll find it at Brookdale Community College. With locations in Lincroft, Freehold, Long Branch, Neptune, Hazlitt, and Wall, and online options that let you study anywhere. At Brookdale, you can train for a new career, earn a diploma, and transfer to a 4-year school hassle-free. Brookdale has small classes and approachable faculty, an honors program, academic support centers, a full student life experience, and nationally ranked sports teams. Visit brookdalecc.edu and start your success story today.
Back here in the Robert J. Collins Arena, 4:24 remaining. Brookdale down by 7, 66-59 over the SUNY Orange, as it has been a very close game, but Brookdale has not quite been able to get over that 7-point hump pretty much all game. And now, yes, thank you for telling me, we are on camera again. Our cameraman Matt downstairs. I was just joking, by the way, Matt. I didn't mean to call you out there on the sidelines, but back here in play after the timeout, what does Brookdale need to do? They've just never been able to get over this hump, Brian.
Well, the offense typically goes through Chakasha Andrews. She's had the hot hand in the second half. If Brookdale's going to get back in, you figure it will be on the shooting of Andrews.
Andrews was double teamed, stolen away there by Burns. One-on-one with Bankel. Burns to the hole, lays it in. Sheila Burns, who's been fairly quiet for most of this game, comes up big late in the going.
And Burns did a good job shielding herself on the fast break from Bankel that time, making the layup at the other end, and here another turnover.
Bankel picked up her dribble in a dangerous position on the foul line and had nowhere to go with it. And now SUNY, if they play their cards right, can get themselves back up to a double-digit lead. Santiago inside to Waldron. 3 seconds again. We've seen that call about 3 or 4 times on SUNY this afternoon, and it's hurt them more often than not.
And that time it was Waldron, the guilty party, called on the 3 in the key down low.
Andrews slowly bringing up the ball. Ooh, goes around a screen by Michelle Montefinis. There's a lot of contact involved there. Cross-court pass to Bankel, who lines up for a 3. Lingo tracks down the rebound, partially blocked away, and traveling call on Jackie Lingo. Remember, these 5 on the floor have been that way and have not had really any substitutions, with the exception of the timeouts and breaks that we have had since the midway point of the fourth, a little bit before the midway point of the fourth quarter when Colleen Brannigan fouled out. Brookdale coming to this game only having 6 players suited up, ready to go. That number will change when they come back here to play at home on Thursday. Another turnover there. Lyons was looking for Andrews behind the 3-point line. And now SUNY, with a 9-point lead, can very easily take a lot of time off of the clock here, as they don't really have any real hurry to shoot. Crop from the left elbow, short. And if Brookdale's going to go, they're going to have to go on a run now. They're running out of time, under 3 to play. Andrews, a long 3. Santiago with the rebound. And we have a foul in the backcourt on Brookdale. Be on Michelle Montefinis. That's her 3rd personal. Chiapon had it stripped away. And that's now going to be 5 team fouls on Brookdale, so it will put them in the double bonus, which will put SUNY on the foul line for the remainder of this game. Lyons committed the personal. That's only Cheyenne's first foul. And it will send Anne-Marie Chiapon to the foul line. The freshman forward makes some nice contributions. You saw on the graphic, just under 12 points a game. It's a 10-point lead. Spangle now with a long three. She's been looking for that shot all afternoon. Has not fallen for her so far.
And Brookdale has just come up empty here the last couple minutes. They had their chance. The game was within striking distance, but too many empty possessions here down the stretch. And it's now back to a 12-point deficit after that last basket.
And you can kind of feel the energy almost instantaneously start to leave not only the Brookdale bench, but the entire team, as yet another turnover there as Lyons walked. And this is going to be a tough loss, Brian, because Brookdale hung around with SUNY, for better part of this game, and at times looked very strong, but possibly factoring a little bit of fatigue and the fact that they have just not been able to get their offense going here in the second half. It's going to be a tough way to go out as we have a jump ball called underneath.
And it's not a game that they should feel too bad about, because we talked about this was a tough opponent. Brookdale was on a big winning streak. They had won 6 in a row, and taking a step up in class with this game, facing a Division II opponent. And as you said, they were up for the challenge for most of the way. This game was close. Brookdale had their chances where they could have kept into it for most of the way, but it did sort of get away from them late.
Coach Brunson talked to us earlier in the game, told us this would be a true test of where his program is at. How do you think they fared as far as grading-wise? I mean, they're still down by 10 under a minute to play here against a Division II school.
Yeah, there's a lot of positives you can take from this kind of game for sure. And so Andrews is fouled before the shot. If you remember, though, the first game of the season, they played, it was either a Division I or Division II school and got completely blown out. We're never in that game, and a different story in a game like this. So that's certainly one where you can take some pointers as you move forward in the season.
Yeah, that was Hartford Community College back on November 3rd, where they lost 127-39. But this will be a tough loss. Again, it won't affect Brookdale in either the region or the Garden State Athletic Conference, because this is really a non-conference game. But still, to be able to put up a good fight against I wouldn't say an outstanding SUNY Colts team. They came in here 8-7 overall, having lost their last game to the Borough of Manhattan on the 12th. But overall, I think Coach Brunson, when he goes back and takes looks at this tape, will be fairly pleased, being what they were up against this afternoon. Another 3-second call for SUNY. And it looks like SUNY is going to come out on top here, pending this last basket attempt by Brookdale. Goes in for Cheyenne Lyons at the buzzer. And the final tally, 71-65. Brookdale falls to 9-4 overall. SUNY improves to 9-7. But the end result is, Brian, they only lose by 6 points against a very tough team. And now they go on the road down to Camden County College on Tuesday before they come back home to play the Community College of Philadelphia on Thursday. So overall, how would you rate this team, the performance? Again, we talked about this would be a big test for them, but for the most part, they held up. And they had a lot of mistakes, but they held up fairly well against a tough team.
They did, and defensively, they did a good job forcing a lot of turnovers. We saw SUNY get called on a lot of 3-second violations in this game, but Brookdale, as we said, hung in most of the way. They were within striking distance, had their chances. If they could have made a few shots late in the game, this could have been closer. It winds up not looking like too much of a blowout with a couple of late baskets there at the end for Brookdale, but now a lot of home games, as you said, coming up, and a chance to play some teams they're more familiar with in their conference and see if they can start another winning streak starting Tuesday and then all the home games starting next weekend.
Yeah, their next game that they have here at home at the Collins Arena, which is what I just mentioned, Community College of Philadelphia, that'll be a Thursday night game. starting with the women. It'll be a doubleheader. The women and the men will be back to play at home for the first time in about a month or two. It seems like here on Brookdale Television we'll have live coverage for both of those games starting at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. So again, once again, SUNY Orange College takes the victory here this afternoon at the Collins Arena, winning 71-65 over the Brookdale Jersey Blues. They fall to 9-4 on the season and will now go on the road to Camden County College on Tuesday. So we want to thank you for joining us. Thank our wonderful crew, all of you watching at home, and of course my broadcast partner Brian Goudsworth. I'm Tim Catalfamo. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time from the Robert J. Collins Arena in Lincroft, New Jersey. Brannigan now straight on three. Got it.
They're starting to fall down.
Andrews hoists up. Convert on that attempt from underneath the basket. Andrews now a three. Got it. Lingo with the rebound. Monty Finese.
On the other end.
And Lingo is fouled.
Hi, I'm Dan Lees from the Speech Communication Department at Brookdale Community College. I welcome you to come and explore Brookdale and see all that we have to offer. In the Speech Communication Department, we teach courses in public speaking, interpersonal communication, and small group communication. For me, college was a life-changing experience. I never looked at the world the same way after my time in college. And I think Brookdale will offer you that same kind of life-changing experience. Not only will you enjoy yourself at Brookdale and have a good time, but you're going to learn a lot. And you're going to take those skills out into the world and apply them in your work field, whatever it may be. So join us at Brookdale.